Craig, let's start with you. Why do you think this is such a good idea?
For two reasons, really. One being that we know that customers at the moment cannot stop outside to pop in to get a loaf of bread or a pint of milk easily outside local shops on the high street. And secondly, we think because businesses themselves are customers, so small businesses across this country want to use, the post office and the bank, and this would provide them with a route to do that.
Sounds quite reasonable, Jason, doesn't it? What's wrong with that?
Well, we already know this happens to a certain extent, but what is being proposed at the moment amounts to nothing less than a parking free-for-all, and I think is going to be simply unenforceable. And also, we have a situation at the moment where there is a dire need to rejuvenate and regenerate our high streets. The way to do it is not to bring in more traffic.
Craig, a lot of viewers actually have been tweeting, this is from Neil Matthews actually via Facebook, saying surely the purpose of double yellow lines is to prohibit parking on grounds of safety. This sounds like this proposal's not being thought through at all. I mean, that's the last thing you want, isn't it? More crowded high streets?
Well, at the moment, all we have is a media report, and that's what we're discussing right now. We need to see clarity, we need to see detail. There's discussion about dangerous parking as part of this reform and new fines for that. We need to know what that means. For me, looking at this, there's an £8 billion worth of parking fees and fines are collected each year. That is stopping customers using the high street. 48% of small businesses tell us that parking and access to parking is putting off their customers. So something needs to be done. And in this whole context of trying to keep trade local, really trying to get people to use their high street, this sounds like an innovative idea. And we do want to see the detail, that's right. But you already have people with blue badges who can use the double yellow lines. And what we want to see is whether that can be expanded in a good way and also implemented locally as part of a proper traffic management plan.
Jason, what's wrong with 15 minutes? I mean, that's no time at all, isn't it? And these small businesses where parking is a long way away, it's really going to help them. You wouldn't be against that, would you?
Well, I think the reality is, how would that be enforced?
Well, at the moment they've got cameras and you've got lots of overzealous traffic wardens, so there's no problem with that, potentially.
Yes, but I think there's probably...
Well, what is your concern? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think there's an urgent need to bring more people into our high streets. The common sense approach is to look at where the majority of those people are coming from, and that's walking, by public transport.
But that's not practical, is it? If you've got a family and you need to take them in the car, you need to park outside the shop, taking a bus or walking or cycling isn't practical, realistically, is it?
It's absolutely not practical at the moment, because the money hasn't been invested in enabling people to get there on foot, by bike or by public transport. And all the while we're investing in enabling people to park, be it on double yellow lines or in free car parks, that dissuades people from walking, cycling or by public transport.
Is that a better idea, Craig? What do you think?
No, I agree that the free parking in supermarkets is attracting people more than paying £10 to go and park in a local high street for 15 minutes. So I agree with that, but I also agree with him that there should be proper local traffic plans that includes consideration of public transport, walking and cycling as options. But what you don't want to do is knock away one part of the market. And analysis of our members shows that for 66% of them, access for cars, vans and motorbikes is key, while only 2% for bicycles.
Okay.
So at the moment, that's the priority level. That is not to say it's a zero-sum game and we shouldn't look at a proper plan for every locality.
And Jason, you're telling me you'd never park on double yellow line?
Well, I think the reality
But
is...
would you ever park on double yellow line if you were given the access?
Well, hang on. The reality is that many people park on double yellow lines for a brief period to pop into a shop or whatever. No, I wouldn't, because I think double yellow lines are there for a reason. They're for reasons of safety, for traffic flow, and to avoid obstructions.
Jason and Craig, thank you very much for your thoughts tonight.